बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में। ये तूने क्या किया, ये तूने क्या किया, डूबा मैं दिल की जन्नत में। खाली सलाम दुआ मुलाकात में, चेहरे की रंगत बदल रही है तेरी सोहबत में। सुनो ना संग मरमर की ये।
Good morning to you, everyone. Welcome down to Sabaki PR on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. I've got selector Alex and, of course, Sarat and Grady with me. And together we're going to keep you company all the way to 11 o'clock. It is the 21st day of August 2023. We hope you guys are doing okay.
सुनो ना संग मरमर की ये मीनारे, कुछ भी नहीं है आगे तुम्हारे। आज से दिल पे मेरे राज तुम्हारा, ताज तुम्हारा। सुनो ना संग मरमर दिल का दरिया बह ही गया, इश्क इबादत बन ही गया। खुद को मुझे तू सौंप दे, मेरी जरूरत तू बन गया। बात दिल की नजरों ने की, सच कह रहा तेरी कसम। तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम, तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम। तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम, तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम। तेरे साथ हो जाएंगे खत्म, तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम। तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम। इस जगह आ गई चाहते अब मेरी, छीन लूंगा तुम्हें सारी दुनिया से ही। तेरे इश्क पे हाँ हक मेरा ही तो है, कह दिया है ये मैंने मेरे रब से भी। जिस रास्ते तू ना मिले उस पे न हो मेरे कदम। तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम, तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम। इश्क की बारीकियां धीरे धीरे सिखा दे मुझे, थोड़ा तुझ में डुबा दे मुझे। ये बारिशें कुछ कह रही, छू के मुझे ये कह रही, अब फासला मुझे नहीं सहना। मुझे रहना तेरे साथ ही रहना। मुझे रहना तेरे पास ही रहना रास्ते नींद की झपकियां होश में है क्यों ये बेहोशियां वक्त बे वक्त क्यों आ रही हिचकियां तू याद आ रहा है याद कर रहा हीरे मोती मैं ना चाहूं मैं तो चाहूं संगम तेरा मैं तो तेरी सैया 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 तू जो छू ले प्यार से आराम से मर जाऊं आजा चंदा बाहों में तुझ में गुम हो जाऊं मैं तेरे नाम में खो जाऊं सैया सैया लोग कहते हैं पागल हूँ मैं ये भी न जाना दिल लुटाया है मैंने अब किसी की न मानूं चैन दे करके मैंने बेचैनियाँ ये ली है नींदे उड़ा के मैंने तुमसे वफाएं की है कसम की कसम है कसम से हमको प्यार है सिर्फ तुमसे
Alrighty then, good morning people, welcome down if you've just joined us to Sabaki PR, my youth what to go. We hope you've kickstart your morning with some beautiful music, of course, selector Alex doing his thing, always putting us in that, lover kind of mood on a Monday, so we hope your Mondays are doing just fine. Do we have you back with us, my youth?
Yes. Of course, we have to have a little bit troubles in the morning. If not, it's just not the utilities company in Guyana. We hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. We're starting off a little bit on the slower end this morning, but I really do hope that we can up the tempo. It's Monday. We need that get-go. We need that, So for those persons who are out there running those errands already, those persons who are at home, the family, the husband left, the kids left, and now you're at home, you're ready to start all your housework or whatever it is. We do hope that here we're able to keep you company and take you all the way to 11 a.m. We've got your Bollywood scoop, your movie of the day. Today's what day? We've got our breakfast discussion. We have so much with you, and of course our Bollywood discussion. So last Saturday, I actually had a discussion with our my people on Bollywood tunes, and I asked them the big question, the question that I've been trying to not ask them because I know this one's going to be a little harsh, but I went ahead and asked them anyway, and I said, well, this is the big debate. It's Bollywood versus Hollywood, and just make a guess which one won.
Hollywood?
Why would you think that about our people?
I'm joking.
Bollywood won by a
of course.
landslide. You know what? For the more people who are watching, who were there on Saturday, Josh, we're getting shock out today. We're not playing with him today. We're not playing with him today.
I was just kidding, but of course, Bollywood will win.
Oh yes, that's right. Bollywood won, so we have your Bollywood discussion once again. So stay tuned to find out what we're going to be asking you today. We do hope everyone's having a fantastic morning, and we rock on all the way to 11 a.m.
Alrighty then.
ਕੱਲੇ ਕੱਲੇ ਸਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਲਵਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਭੁਲਾਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੁੱਟਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਸੋਹਣਿਆ ਛੱਡ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਤੇਰੇ ਜਾਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਆਇਆ ਨਾ ਰੋਂਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਵਰਾਇਆ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਸ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਮ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੇ ਭੇਦ ਦਿਲ ਵਾਲਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਇਆ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਯਾਦਾਂ 'ਚ ਬੈਠੀ ਕੱਟਾ ਕੱਲੀ ਦਿਨ ਯਾਦ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਆਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਲੇ ਕੱਲੇ ਸਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਲਵਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਭੁਲਾਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੁੱਟਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਸੋਹਣਿਆ ਛੱਡ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਲੱਭਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਣੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਿੱਕੇ ਨਿੱਕੇ ਰੋਸਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੰਗ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਦੀ ਕਦੀ ਲੜਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ
जुदा हम हो गए माना मगर ये जान लो जाना जुदा हम हो गए माना मगर ये जान लो जाना कभी मैं याद आऊं तो चले आना तुम्हें मैं भूल जाऊंगा ये बातें दिल में ना लाना कभी मैं याद आऊं तो चले आना दूरियां फिर भी कम ना हुई एक अधूरी सी हमारी कहानी रही आसमां को जमीन ये जरूरी नहीं जा मिले इश्क सच्चा वही जिसको मिलती नहीं मंजिलें रंग थे नूर था जब करीब तू था एक जन्नत सा था ये जहां वक्त की रेत पे कुछ मेरे नाम सा लिख के छोड़ गया तू कहाँ हमारी अधूरी कहानी हमारी अधूरी कहानी दर्द दिल का जाता नहीं मैं तुझको भूल जाऊं आता नहीं आदत तेरी इतनी बुरी चाहूं मिटा ना सकूं यादें तेरी आज नहीं रोज यही करता तेरा इंतजार मैं। तेरे बिना बीता जो भी सब है अधूरा, एक बार आ जावे तू कर भी दे पूरा।
राधिका,
ऐसे क्यों कुछ तो लिखती हूँ, लिख के मिटाती हूँ मैं रात भर।
Can I feel so lonely, yeah. There's a better place than this emptiness, and I'm so lonely, yeah. There's a better place than this emptiness. खुदाया है तुझे मुझसे मिलाया है, तुझ पे मर के ही तो मुझे जीना आया है। हो तेरे संग यारा खुश रंग बहारा, तू रात दीवानी मैं जर्द सितारा। हो तेरे संग यारा खुश रंग बहारा, मैं तेरा हो जाऊं जो तू कर दे इशारा। दिल को करार आया तुझ पे है प्यार आया, पहली पहली बार आया ओ यारा। दिल को करार आया तुझ पे है प्यार आया, पहली पहली बार आया ओ यारा। 'Cause I give you all of me, would you give me all of you? Yeah, 'cause I give you all of me, would you give me all of you? Yeah, दुआ भी लगे ना मुझे, दवा भी लगे ना मुझे, जब से दिल को मेरे तू लगा है। नींद रातों की मेरी, चाहत बातों की मेरी, चैन को भी मेरे तूने यूं ठगा है। You're beautiful, you're criminal, girl you took everything from me. Can't let you go like a general. I'm going into battle 'cause you stole the breath from my lungs, cut my veins bleeding love. Oh, I still remember that scene, 'cause I can see the tears running down your cheek. I can feel your body so close to me. I can hear the rain dropping at your feet, 'cause your love was gone. 24/7 I will be waiting out in the rain till somebody save me. I don't care if it takes forever to make you believe. Ooh, yeah.
कभी जो बादल बरसे मैं देखूं तुझे आंखें भर के, तू लगे मुझे पहली बारिश की दुआ। पागल सा जो पागल दिल दिया गल्लां नू सुन बैठा बिना जाने तेरी मर्जी तेनू अपना मैं चुन बैठा
Sometimes wanna be your lover, sometimes wanna be your friend. I'll love you like no other. नहीं आंदा मैनू चैन तेरे उत्ते मरदा आ जवानी चढ़दी यूं तो है गल वे मैं कौन वाली कर दी तेरे नैना दा वे हुस्न दी रानी है नी ऐसा है नशा नी मैं चन्न नू दिखाउणा अज शीशा तू कोल जरा भुल के तैनू मैं नहीं जीना तेरे नाल प्यार सानू इंतजार जुदाइयां यार ने मंगियां किवे मैं करदा ओनू ना ओ मेरे नाल खुश जे नहीं किवे फिर भरदा ओ दीवा मैं Maniche magete mudue nura hangumyavi abilevi Neriye numbe nage magenette ame hayavi sivevi
9 hours 13 in Guyana, right across the Eastern Caribbean. This is what your Monday radio should sound like. I want to encourage you to encourage your friends and family to join us here in Savaki Pia. This and every Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You want to hop on board by becoming an advertiser or a sponsor? Feel free to call our marketing team on 225-8465 or 226-7455. My youth, what to go on?
Well, big things are about to go on right now because you know what, 9 hours 30 every Monday, we bring to you that Bollywood's hits list. So for the next 15 minutes, enjoy all the hottest songs, all the trending songs coming right out of Bollywood. This is Kaieteur Radio and your lovely favorite Monday morning show. Well, Monday to Friday morning show, Sabaki PR. Let's go.
All right, let's go, everybody.
عياني الشوق ناره هيجاب قلبي اي 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 كندر انا خبي حبك انا حليم فضوح انا من ليبيا اي 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 بحلو اي 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 هذات العيون ارحمي هات العيون ما شافت نوم غلي لومو الواي اي اي खुशी खुशी पहना तेरा दिया गहना कितना कंगन जचे देख कलाई आई 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 तुझे मेरे लिए मुझे भी लबों पे नाम है तेरा, मैं बन के मेरा हूँ तेरी परछाई। आज रात चांद बात करना मेरे दिल से, आज रात चांद बात करना मेरे दिल से। बादलों में था छुपा हुआ तो कितने दिन से, बादलों में था छुपा हुआ तो कितने दिन से। चांदनी मरहम बना के आज फेंकना, दर्द हो जरा ये कम हंसा के भेजना। आज रात चांद बात करना मेरे दिल से। कुछ मैं दिनों से सो नहीं हूँ पा रहा, है समंदर भी शोरगुल मचा रहा। तलखी से हवाएं हैं सनी हुई, दे दे मुझको तो चैन वाली ओढ़नी। फर्श ठंडा पड़ा है, नम सी ये हवा है, पलकों पर ये बैठे ख्वाब भी है कैसे। आज रात चांद बात करना मेरे दिल से, आज रात चांद बात करना मेरे दिल से। बादलों में था छुपा हुआ तो कितने दिन से, बादलों में था छुपा हुआ तो कितने दिन से। चांदनी मरहम बना के आज फेंकना, दर्द हो जरा ये कम हंसा के भेजना।
इश्क में दिल बना है, इश्क में दिल फना है। ओ मिटा दे या बना दे, मैंने तुझको चुना है। ओ तेरे सारे रंग
इश्क ख्वाब ख्वाब सा है मेरा बेहिसाब सा है तेरे लफ्ज चुम लूं मैं उर्दू की किताब सा है
जग तेरे लिए छोड़ी इश्क में दिल बना है छोड़ी इश्क में दिल बना है खो गया इश्क में दिल बना है इश्क में दिल फना है ओ मिटा दे या बना दे मैंने तुझको चुना है ओ तेरे सारे रंग ओढ़ के डंग ओढ़ के तेरा हुआ मैं सबको छोड़ के इश्क नहीं करना नाप तोल के राज खोल के आया हूँ मैं सबको बोल के मैं तो चलिया तेरी ओर तेरा चलिया है जोर तेरा होया मैं यार भूले आए संसार में चलिया तेरी ओर तेरा चलिया है जोर तेरा होया मैं यार भूले आए संसार में जग तेरे लिए छोड़िया दिल तेरे संग छोड़िया अब तेरा मैं तो हो गया आगे तुझे मैं खो गया जग तेरे लिए छोड़िया दिल तेरे संग जोड़िया अब तेरे मैं तो हो गया आगे तुझे मैं खो गया ये आसमां तेरे पैरों में है तू मेरी जान मेरे खैरों में है तेरा रंग है लाल ढलते सूरज का जैसे इतना खूबसूरत कोई लगता है कैसे आजा मैं बताऊं तुझे क्या रखा मैंने तेरा नाम नशा रखा ओ जब जब बोले मुझे लगता है यूं जैसे कोई गाए रागनी हम तुझको सनम ओ सनम इतना चाहेंगे जैसे चांद को चाहे चांदनी हम तुझको सनम ओ सनम इतना चाहेंगे जैसे चांद को चाहे चांदनी
चाहे पागल दीवाना आवारा है तू पर मेरी जा सहारा है तू हाय तेरी नजर की हाय मारी हूँ मैं और मेरे होठों का मारा है तू दिल करे मेरा कि ऐसा बन जाए मंजर तुझको चूमना है यार समंदर के अंदर
आजा रोज आया कर सीखा करें समंदर के पानी को मीठा करें तेरे होठों की लाली गले के सनम गालों पे लगाए चांदनी हम तुझको सनम ओ सनम इतना चाहेंगे जैसे चांद को चाहे चांदनी ये शरारत ये नफासत नजाकत ये शोखी ये शरारत ये नफासत नजाकत बहुत खूबसूरत हो बहुत खूबसूरत हो आप सर से पा तक दिल झूम झूम दिल झूम झूम दिल झूम झूम जाए दिल झूम झूम दिल झूम झूम दिल झूम झूम जाए तुम्हें हूर हूर किसी हूर हूर हाँ हूर साए पा
hours 45. That was a check there for your Bollywood hits list. All the greatest songs coming out of Bollywood tongue. We hear them this and every Monday from 9:30 to 9 hours 45. Flower girl, what happened? What's your flower outfit, girl?
I'm in a flowery mode today. Let me see our guy Shri that has messaged me right now. He says, "Good morning to you. Please send out happy birthday to my small brother, Dinesh Rabindranath, coming from his mom and 4 brothers." So happy birthday to you, Dinesh. And I just want you to know that your brother is a huge supporter of us here on the show. So good morning to you, Shridat. And what's for breakfast this morning? Did he list what's for breakfast this morning?
Yes. Fried potatoes with oil, sardine, and sada roti with Nescafe.
All right. Now that's,
you
know what?
I'm not a fan of
Shridat,
sardine. So, no. Every time.
That just gave me an idea because that's what I'm going to be making for lunch.
Sardine cook up?
Sardine. The mackerel in the oil. I'll be making that with potatoes and rice. I feel like having that as lunch today.
I don't eat those, so I don't know.
Well, less of the man, you know what they say.
Less of the man, bigger the share.
So is that time for us to have our discussion today? And you know me, I love, you know what I say, you like with choke fire?
She loves drama.
Me. Yeah, no, that's you. But anyway, let's talk about our Bollywood discussion this morning. So this one here, I'm going to be ruffling a lot of feathers with this one. But let's talk about our Bollywood movies. And you know how we talked before about we like when the Bollywood movies bring in the societal concerns of our world. You know, they bring in like a lot of these they touch on rape and surrogacy. They touch on a lot of all kinds of things. But let's talk this morning on the LGBTQ plus community. Let's talk about if you'd like to see movies incorporating more of this into the movies. And for whatever reason you think it's good to educate the children, you think it's good because, you know, people are non-binary these days. They don't know what they are until they decide what they want to become. All kinds of things. So we're just having this discussion this morning based on the direction that the world is going in with the LGBTQ community. Would you like to see more of that content included in our movies? Or do you think it should stay out of the movies and let people decide when they get of age what they want to become? So let us know this morning if you'd like to see more LGBTQ plus content in our movies, or just leave it out altogether. Let us know.
All right.
चंदी चांदनी थल्ले बैठे चंदी चांदनी थल्ले बैठे दो गल्ला करिए प्यार दिया आजा गल्ला करिए आजा गल्ला करिए दो गल्ला करिए हत्थां विच होवे तेरा हथ समा उत्थे ही खलो जवे ओ तेरा मेरा प्यार वेख चन ओले बदला दे हो जवे ओ हत्थां विच होवे तेरा हथ समा उत्थे ही खलो जवे तेरा मेरा प्यार वेख चन ओले बदला दे हो जवे औण ठंडिया हवा वसीना ठार दिया दो गल्ला करिए प्यार दिया दो गल्ला करिए मस्त आंखें जरा उठाओ तो मुझे इनमें जरा डुबाओ तो मस्त आंखें जरा उठाओ तो मुझे इनमें जरा डुबाओ तो जो भी गुजरेगी हम पे गुजरेगी तुम नजर से नजर मिलाओ तो आंख से आंख मिलाओ तो कोई बात बने आंख से आंख मिलाओ तो कोई बात बने आंख
बात बने। खूबसूरत है ये इतनी, मैं दीवाना हो गया। आपको छू करके मौसम आशिकाना हो गया।
हो सिर्फ लफ्जों से हमारे दिल को तुम बहलाओ ना। इश्क क्या है मैं सिखा दूं, तुम करीब आ जाओ ना।
पर्दे सारे गिर जाएं, ऐसे हम तुम मिल जाएं। आँखों से मैं पी जाऊं, तुम जहर भी अगर पिलाओ तो। नसीब से मिला जो ये तेरा साथ है। हर पल मेरे होठों पे तेरी ही बात है। नसीब से मिला जो ये तेरा साथ है। हर पल मेरे होठों पे तेरी ही बात है। अधूरा था मैं अब पूरा हुआ, जब से तू मेरा हो गया। जुदाइयां यार ने मंगियां किवें मैं करदा ओनू ना। ओ मेरे नाल खुश जे नहीं किवें फिर हड़दा ओ दीवा। मैं पागल सा जो पागल दिल दियां गल्लां नू सुन बैठा। बिना जाने तेरी मर्जी तेनू अपना मैं चुन बैठा। सजदे में यूं ही झुकता हूँ, तुम पे ही आके रुकता हूँ। क्या ये सबको होता है?
हमको क्या लेना है सबसे, तुमसे ही सब बातें अब से बन गए हो तुम मेरी दुआ।
सजदे में यूं ही झुकता हूँ, तुम पे ही आके रुकता हूँ। क्या ये सबको होता है?
हमको क्या लेना है सबसे, तुमसे ही सब बातें अब से बन गए हो तुम मेरे दुआ।
खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ, खुदा जाने मैं मिट गया। खुदा जाने क्यों हुआ है कि बन गए हो तुम मेरे खुदा। और ऐसा हुआ नहीं, तू है मीलों दूर कहीं। तेरे संग पल दो पल को हंसना जो चाह तो। रुला के गया इश्क तेरा, रुला के गया इश्क तेरा, के माने नहीं दिल ये मेरा। कैसे चुप मैं कराऊं वे, रुला के गया इश्क तेरा, रुला के गया इश्क तेरा, के माने नहीं दिल ये मेरा। कैसे चुप मैं कराऊं वे।
तेरा मुझसे है पहले का नाता कोई, यूं ही नहीं दिल भाता कोई। तेरा मुझसे है पहले का नाता कोई, यूं ही नहीं दिल भाता कोई। तेरा मुझसे है पहले का नाता कोई,
हासिल लगी है यही धुन जिंदगी की शाख से लूं कुछ हंसी पल में चुन तुझको मैं कर लूं हासिल लगी है यही धुन जो भी जितने पल जियूं उन्हें तेरे संग जियूं जो भी कल हो अब मेरा उसे तेरे संग जियूं जो भी सांसें मैं भरूं उन्हें तेरे संग भरूं चाहे जो हो रास्ता उसे तेरे संग चलूं दिल इबादत कर रहा है धड़कने मेरी सुन तुझको मैं कर लूं हासिल लगी है यही धुन
हो पौने गठ दी ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਲੰਘਦੀ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਕੌਣ ਲੰਘਦੀ ਝਾਕਾ ਦੇ ਜਾ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਹਾਏ ਜੱਟ ਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਨੈਣਾ ਦਾ ਜੋੜਾ ਖੁੱਲੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਸੁੱਕੇ ਫੁੱਲਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਪੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਬੁੱਲੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਭੁਲੇਖਾ ਰਾਤ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੁਲਫਾਂ ਖੁੱਲੀਆਂ ਕੱਚੀ ਰਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਖਾਵੇ ਲੱਕ ਮਰੋੜਾ ਹਾਏ ਜੱਟ ਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਨੈਣਾ ਦਾ ਜੋੜਾ
Lovely, 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 lovely music for you here on this beautiful Monday. My youth, time is really, really flying. I don't know where the time is going. Hello? Is my youth there?
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Well, so we've got some we've got some comments this morning, and so my girl Melissa feels very strongly about this, and she says no. She says that she thinks that we should keep it out of the movies, and she doesn't think it belongs there, and she thinks that it's something to be decided on their own accord when they get their own age, when they understand themselves who they are, but not to be. She doesn't think it should be fueled in the movies. Let the movies remain as is, devoid of these things. Right, so that's her thought this morning. So let us know. Do we have any other person who is, contributing to this discussion online? For those of you who just joined us today, our Bollywood discussion is: should we include LGBTQ plus content in our Bollywood movies, or should we just leave them out and have persons decide on those type of things in their own time and in their own space? What should we do?
So I've got no one. I got no one here that is commenting. So of course, maybe in the second hour we'll get some.
All right.
All right. So we got to go to the news in 1 minute. When we come back, Buddy Paul has that Bollywood scoop to share with you, and then of course you continue the conversation right here on Sabaki Pia. You Gucci with that?
Gucci with that.
All right. Let's go.
तुम्हारे लाख जाने वाले लाखों में हो तुम जो एक ही फिर भी सोचता हूँ मैं तुम्हें बता दूँ बात ये जो तुमसे ना कहीं कुछ इस तरह से तुमको चाहेंगे हम तुम्हीं से लड़ेंगे तुमको मनाएंगे हम तुम्हें अपने दिल की धड़कन बनाएंगे हम मोहब्बत तो करके देखो निभाएंगे हम
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
With your news in capsule, I'm Kevin Smith. Already producing an average of 400,000 barrels of oil per day in the Stabroek Block from the Liza 1 and Liza 2 projects without full liability protection against an oil spill, ESSO, the operator of the Stabroek Block, has submitted an environmental impact assessment to the EPA for its sixth deepwater project, Whiptail. This key document lays the foundation for the regulator to make a decision in granting a permit for a planned development which can affect the environment and human life. It identifies the risks involved in the project as well as lists mitigative measures that can be implemented. The Whiptail project is ExxonMobil's largest oil project to date. And in other news, opposition says government's failure to conduct feasibility studies for oil projects could result in mountain of debt. Venezuelan woman confesses to stabbing man to death, and Environmental Assessment Board to hear Houston residents over radioactive waste facility. Deaths by fire increased, 29 children, 9 adults killed, and Clay Brick Road resident murdered after cuffing man to the face.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burbies 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Detective, a crime show like no other. Brace yourselves for heart-pounding tales as victims find their voices and survivors share their harrowing experiences. Get ready to embark on a journey of suspense as we delve into the dark underbelly of criminal activities. It's not just about solving crimes, it's about understanding the true impact they have on our communities. The Detective, every Monday at 13 hours on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM.
Arvin's Bar, the top bar on the west side, is hiring bartenders, waitresses, and experienced cooks. Call 689-7481 or visit them at 4 Union Crane, West Coast, Demerara, just after Puran Brothers.
Are you ready to energize the moment with Lucasade? Lucasade Under the Cap promotion is back. Win one of 3 grand prizes of $20,000 plus these awesome weekly prizes: PlayStation 5, Apple AirPods, and grocery vouchers. To participate, buy any Lucasade limited edition. Find your code under the cap and follow the details on the pack. Visit Lucasade's social media accounts for more details. Lucasade, energize the moment.
Alrighty then, welcome to the second and final stretch of Sabaki Pia, your morning's love, your recipe for happiness. I feel like having bacon saltfish this morning. I don't know why. It's on my mind. And for lunch, I'm feeling dal and Karaila with shrimps.
That sounds like a good meal right there.
Yeah.
No, I might have to change my lunch menu. I might have to do just that.
Just
because
that.
anything I hear with shrimp
Uh-huh.
becomes my new favorite. Squash and shrimp is also a nice meal.
You've never had that?
Squash and shrimp?
Never had squash and shrimps.
Yes, good.
Is it curried squash or
Very
stewed
delicious.
squash?
Both all two taste good. Both of them.
Both of them?
So we want to talk about your Bollywood scoop this morning.
Yes, go right in.
Just the other day we had this discussion about actors and actresses becoming directors after they've had their stint in Bollywood and all that. They move on to become producers and directors. Well,
Yeah.
our girl Disha Patani has stepped into her director's shoes, and when she directed her first music video, Kyun Karu Fikar, and she says that this has helped her to express herself, and it was an exciting challenge to shift the perspective. And like I said, they're usually the ones in front of the camera, but now she is on the other end directing everything, right?
Yeah.
So she's also the one in the music video. So that's some good stuff there. If you guys have not seen the song as yet, the name of the song is Kyun Karu Fikar. You can have a look at that. So continuing with our Bollywood scoop, Ayushmann Khurrana and Anu Kapoor, they're the newest duo in town for this new movie that they've dropped, Dream Girl 2. And there's also a new song that's out, Jamnagar. You can of course find this on our social media pages, but this song is the hottest track in town right now, and of course you're going to be hearing it here on Subaki Pyar, so you've got to stay tuned. And continuing with Gadar 2, it is still continuing to rock the box office. People are loving this movie. They're also loving the message that the movie is bringing. So we hope that if you haven't seen it as yet, you're going to make up your mind to look at it soon. That's your Bollywood scoop for today. We just want to keep it very short, quick, and simple, and giving you your updates on your favorite movies, actors, and actresses.
Alrighty then, that's Bollywood Scoop. Bollywood Scoop comes your way this and every Monday to Thursday. Immediately after that, news in capsule at 10 a.m. Our buddy Pal Grady puts on her Bollywood expert cap. She's going to take it off right about now, and she's going to put on her dancing cap. Let's continue, everybody.
सूरज हुआ मध्यम चांद जलने लगा आसमां ये हाय क्यों पिघलने लगा मैं ठहरा रहा ज़मीं चलने लगी धड़का ये दिल सांस थमने लगी ओ क्या ये मेरा पहला प्यार है सजना क्या ये मेरा पहला प्यार है सूरज हुआ मध्यम चांद जलने लगा आसमां ये हाय क्यों पिघलने लगा मैं ठहरी रही ज़मीं चलने लगी धड़का ये दिल सांस थमने लगी तेरी मेरी गल्लाए होगी मशहूर करना कभी तू मुझे नजरों से दूर किथे चलिए तू किथे चलिए तू किथे चलिए जानदा है दिल ये तो जान दिया तू तेरे बिना मैं न रहूं मेरे बिना तू किथे चलिए तू किथे चलिए तू किथे चलिए काटू कैसे राता हो सावरे जिया नहीं जाता सुन बावरे के राता लंबे आ रे कटे ते तेरे संगे आ रे के रातां लंबे आ रे कटे तेरे संगे आ रे
सॉरी जी रहे थे हम यूं ही बेवजह तुम जो मिल गए तो हम जीने लगे देखोगे जहां पाओगे वहां हर मोड़ पे तो हम तुमसे मिलने लगे I guess I'm falling in love with you I guess I'm falling in love with you I guess I'm falling in love I'm falling in love with you शायद यही है प्यार और मुझे था तेरा इंतजार I guess I'm falling in love I'm falling in love with you
तू इतनी खूबसूरत है फिदा दीदार पे तेरे तू इतनी खूबसूरत है फिदा दीदार पे तेरे
इश्क है मेरा जरा सा प्यार तो दे दे
फलक कदमों पे आ झुके हंसी लम्हात वो दे दे तेरे संग भीग जाऊं मैं कभी बरसात वो दे दे
तेरे बिना जीना पड़े वो पल मुझे ना दे
तू इतनी खूबसूरत है फिदा दीदार पे तेरे तू इतनी खूबसूरत है फिदा दीदार पे तेरे
मुझ में तुझको मिला था जो सुकून ले गई कि मुझसे चेहरे का नूर मुझ में तुझको मिला था जो सुकून ले गई कि मुझसे चेहरे का नूर छोटी तस्वीर तेरी से कहाँ मैं रखूं छीना तूने मुझसे क्यों मेरा सुकून काश ये होता नहीं होता अलग काश मैं खोता नहीं तेरी धड़क पास तू मेरे तो क्या सही गलत खास तू मेरी थी जब काश ये होता नहीं होता अलग काश मैं खोता नहीं तेरी धड़क ताश के पत्तों से बिखरे बिखरे हम जुड़ न सके मुड़ न सके
कुछ दिनों से है यूं लगा कुछ दिनों से मेरा नहीं दिल मेरा कुछ दिनों से है यूं लगा ख्वाहिशों ने मुझे से हमको घेरा है जब से तू मिला इस दिल मेरे लिए लगा धड़कन से भी ज्यादा तू संग ले चल रोनी तेरी बनके मैं तू रख मेरे सारे पल रोनी तेरी बनके मैं तू संग ले चल रोनी तेरी बनके मैं तू रख मेरे सारे पल रोनी तेरी बनके मैं
लड़की नहीं है वो जादू है और का क्या अरे लड़की नहीं है वो जादू है और का क्या जाए रात को मेरे ख्वाब में आई वो जुल्फे बिखराए आँख खुली तो दिल चाह फिर नींद मुझे आ जाए बिन देखे हाल हुआ देखूं तो क्या हो जाए भोली सी सूरत आँखों में मस्ती
आए हाय अरे भोली सी सूरत आंखों में मस्ती दूर खड़ी शर्माए एक झलक दिखलाए कभी कभी आंचल में छुप जाए मेरी नजर से तुम देखो तो यार नजर वो आए भोली सी सूरत आंखों में मस्ती दूर खड़ी शर्माए
देखा होगा देखने वालों ने क्या क्या नहीं देखा होगा मेरा दावा है कि तुझसा नहीं देखा होगा जिस तरह मैंने तेरी राह तकी है बरसों जिस तरह मैंने तेरी राह तकी है बरसों यूं किसी ने तेरा रास्ता नहीं देखा होगा यूं किसी ने तेरा रास्ता नहीं देखा होगा देखने वालों ने क्या क्या नहीं देखा होगा मेरा दावा है कि तुझसा नहीं देखा होगा जिस तरह मैंने तेरी राह तकी है बरसों जिस तरह मैंने तेरी राह तकी है बरसों यूं किसी ने तेरा रास्ता नहीं देखा होगा यूं किसी ने तेरा रास्ता नहीं देखा होगा
हमसे वादा किया था आएगा जो सावन तो आओगे तुमने हमसे वादा किया था आएगा जो सावन तो आओगे आजा मेरे माही तेरी याद आ गई हल्की हल्की सी बरसात आ गई हल्की हल्की सी बरसात आ गई ओ माही तेरी याद बेहिसाब आ गई हल्की हल्की सी बरसात आ गई
तुम्हें बोलना पसंद है मुझे बोलते हुए तुम्हें हंसना पसंद है मुझे हंसते हुए तुम बस इतना ही फर्क है तेरी मेरी पसंद में तुम्हें सब कुछ पसंद है और मुझे पसंद हो तुमको बारिश पसंद है मुझको बारिश में तुमको बारिश पसंद है मुझको बारिश में
हर बादल से पूछ लेना हमें चाहते हैं तुम्हारी है खबर आसमां को भी हमें आदतें हैं तुम्हारी हर बादल से पूछ लेना हमें चाहते हैं तुम्हारी है खबर आसमां को भी हमें आदतें हैं तुम्हारी ये तो जाने खुदा भी तू ही एक बस न माने
तुम एक पल भी ख्वाब से फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात होना
चुपके से चोरी चोरी होने इंतजार मुझे तेरा धीरे धीरे चुपके से चोरी चोरी होने इंतजार मुझे तेरा नहीं हो लगता दिल तेरे बिना धीरे धीरे चुपके से चोरी चोरी होने इंतजार मुझे तेरा धीरे धीरे चुपके से चोरी चोरी होने इंतजार मुझे तेरा
हमने सोचा नहीं था कभी ऐसा रुख जिंदगी ने मोड़ लिया कैसा हमने सोचा नहीं था कभी ऐसा आता नहीं यकीन क्या से क्या हो गया किस तरह मैं तुमसे बेवफा हो गया इंसाफ कर दो मुझे माफ कर दो इतना ही कर दो करम दिल दे दिया है जान तुम्हें देंगे दगा नहीं करेंगे सनम ओ रब दी कसम यारा रब दी कसम दिल दे दिया
Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Is it just me, but I think time is dragging today. What do you think?
Yes, I think it definitely is dragging. Time like this, it would be like almost time to wrap up.
I mean, we could make it time to wrap up. I'm kidding.
I mean, is anybody who shouldn't be watching?
Exactly. So I gotta tell you what today is all about, and today is August 21. Believe it not. Somebody's officially coming off the almanac in a couple of days. Just want to put that out there.
No idea what you're talking about because I am only 18 years old.
You're only 18 years old. All right. Well, August 21 is known as Poets' Day, and Poets' Day is dedicated to the long history of poetry in the world, and most especially to those who fill our world with the passion and wonder that flows from the tip of their pens.
Interesting day, and we have a lot of poetry lovers out there. I like the spoken word poetry. I like, I just like poetry in general. I love the fact that it makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. For all the poetry lovers, hit up our comment section and let us know if you will be celebrating World Poetry Day, or if you're going to be, or if you're just a lover of poetry. Let us know.
Let us know I almost said let us know in the poetry section.
We also have your movie of the day as well as your positive quote of the day coming up, so stay tuned with us.
All right.
प्यार झूठा था जताया ही क्यों, प्यार झूठा था जताया ही क्यों, ऐसे जाना था तो आया ही क्यों, ऐसे जाना था तो आया ही क्यों, ऐसे तुम कर तू जरा और सितम कर दिया, आजा बेवजह सा ये रिश्ता खत्म कर दिया, ओ बेदर्दिया यार बेदर्दिया, ओ बेदर्दिया यार बेदर्दिया, ओ बेदर्दिया यार बेदर्दिया, ओ बेदर्दिया यार बेदर्दिया,
сердце, будешь ли моей? Сможешь ли ты растопить железное во мне? Скажи мне, что ты ждешь, заходи, жизнь мою дуня, ты пролети сквозь туман до меня. Сонная, лунная Лиза, моя невинная, милая, сонная Лиза, глазами из огня. Сонная, лунная Лиза, моя невинная, милая, сонная Лиза, с глазами из огня.
Cause you know what's on my mind. मेरे दिल दी गली दा विच आ जा, ऐवे मुंडियां दे पिछे तू ना जा, ऐवे ना करी ना कर मेरे नाल वे सोनिए. मेरे दिल दी गली दा विच आ जा, ऐवे मुंडियां दे पिछे तू ना जा, ऐवे ना करी ना कर मेरे नाल वे गोरिए.
तू मेरे वाल तकदी रवे ना मेरे तेरे तो नजर हटदी, मैं तेरा ब्लड गोरिए, तू बैकबोन जट दी, तू मेरे वाल तकदी रवे ना मेरी तेरे तो नजर हटदी, मैं तेरा ब्लड गोरिए, तू बैकबोन जट दी. मैं हो गया दीवाना बलिए, तू हो के सदाई फिरदी, कर दिया कंधा उत्ते नी मेरे पोस्टर लाई फिरदी, दस तेरे बिना समझूगी फीलिंग है कौन जट दी. मैं तेरा ब्लड गोरिए, तू बैकबोन जट दी, मैं तेरा ब्लड गोरिए, तू बैकबोन जट दी, दस तेरे बिना समझूगी फीलिंग है कौन जट दी. मैं तेरा ब्लड गोरिए, तू बैकबोन जट दी.
सोचा
swag सूट पटियाला शाही चुन्नी तेरी black ओ मुंडे होके भरदे तेनू तक तक के नचे जदों हथ तू लाके उत्ते रख के
प्रॉपर पटोला नखरा swag सूट पटियाला शाही चुन्नी मेरी black ओ मुंडे होके भरदे मैनू तक तक के नचा जदों हथ मैं लाके उत्ते रख के
बिखरी है तुझसे मेरी सुबह निखरी है तुझे देखने की है आदतें तेरी ख्वाहिशें हैं इबादतें दे चाहतों की इजाजतें तेरा होना भी है एक हुनर नजर लग जाएगी नजर लग जाएगी नजर लग जाएगी मेरी तुझे इतना भी चाहो ना मुझे किसी शायर का दिल बनके बरसती है बूंदे तुम पे किसी शायर का दिल बनके बरसती है बूंदे तुम पे नजारा उफ क्या होता है गुजरती है जब जुल्फों से दूर कहीं अब जाओ ना तुम सुन 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 बरसात की धुन सुन 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 बरसात की धुन सुन दिल में यही एक गम रहता है साथ मेरे तू कम रहता है हाँ दिल में यही एक गम रहता है साथ मेरे तू कम रहता है छोड़ के अभी जाओ ना तुम सुन 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 बरसात की धुन सुन दर्द दिलों के कम हो जाते मैं और तुम गर हम हो जाते मैं और तुम गर हम हो जाते Don't play around, can't you see it? How everyone knows about you and me. जाने क्यों इतनी हंसी है? You're breaking my heart in them skinny jeans. Now we don't need love to bring the light away. Pocket full of love, but just wait and see. How could we be losing if we're winning back? So stay right here and don't let go. दिल तोड़ना मैंने अपना ले, you already know. दुनिया दे गमां नू भुला के turn this around, make it easy. How long we gon' be creeping in and out? House हम दोनों की यही तकदीर है. There'll never be an answer if we don't do this now. Now we don't need love to bring the light away. Pocket full of love, but just wait and see. How could we be losing if we're winning, babe? So
जोर कोई तू मेरे पास आ गई है मैं तेरे पास आ गया
I don't wanna know, no, no, no who's taking you home, 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 home. I'm loving you so, 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 so the way I used to love you now. Don't wanna know, no, no, no who's taking you home, 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 home. Loving you so, 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 so the way I used to love you now. Wasted. The more I drink, the more I think about you. Oh no, 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 I can't take it. Maybe every place I go reminds me of you. Do you think of me, how we used to be? Is it better now that I'm not around? My friends acting strange, they don't bring your name. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? I don't wanna know, no, no, no who's taking you home, 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 home. I'm loving you so, 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 so the way I used to love you now. I don't wanna know, no, no, no who's taking you home, 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 home. Loving you so, 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 so the way I used to love you now. जो तेरी खातिर तड़पे पहले से ही क्या उसे तड़पाना वो जालिमा, वो जालिमा जो तेरे इश्क में बहका पहले से ही क्या उसे बहकाना वो जालिमा, वो जालिमा
Ozalima.
That's right. It's a
Love that
Zalima
show.
kind of day.
It is that kind of day, you know. It's closer to close off time.
Yes, but I don't know, seriously though, if you guys feel that way, let us know. I feel like today has really, really, really dragged.
I think so too.
It's like intensely intense dragging, you know?
Yeah, I think time like this, it was be about 3 o'clock.
That's true. I do feel like that. I do feel like that today. I really do
Yeah.
feel like that.
But nevertheless, you know, time gotta do what it gotta do, and we gotta do what it gotta do. So I hope you guys
That's
have a
right.
great day. I want to say good morning to Mark. Mark is saying checking in. He said this place is extremely hot, and I normally complain about AC, but mine is at 16 with turbo on, so I ain't complaining.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, 16 with
it's
turbo mode on. Whoo! That is madness.
That's coldness, but it is
That's coldness.
All right. So it's time for us to bring to you your movie recommendation for today. And this one is called Sufna.
Sufna.
Sufna. That's right. So it is the movie where Jeet is a carefree young man and Teg is a poor laborer working in the fields, and they fall in love with each other. However, they face difficulties to maintain their relationship. So this one looks more like it's a Punjabi movie. So for you, whoever want to see Sufna, you want to see the poster of the movie, you want to, head back later down and see what our movie recommendation for today was, you can just head across to our social media page because I am posting
right about
that
now
flyer. So Sufna is our movie of the day.
All right, check out Sufna, everybody. Make sure it's the right thing you're looking at. I want to ask a question. I want you to be honest on the live, people. Of all the movies that we would have shared with you, have you ever looked at one? Let us know in the comment section. I want to know.
So it was that bad, man.
Yeah, I want. They got to look at it, man. They got to.
They got to look at it, yes.
Yes. All right, let's go to the movie. Let's go to the movies. Let's continue the music, everybody. When we come back, we've got your positive quote, and then we got to skiddly daddle ourselves out of here. Buddy, Polly, Gucci with that.
Good with that.
All right, let's go.
गल सुन मेरी तू मुटियारे की समझे अपने आप नू
मेरे मगर तू की कर दी
है गल बस तू ही जांदी
मैनू सफाइया पेश न कर रब कोलो थोड़ा जिहा कर सिख जाके प्यार करने दा बल 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 बल
ओ बल्ले बल्ले
बल 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 झूठे संग साडे एक पल बल 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 झूठे संग साडे एक पल बेवफा 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 निकली है तू झूठा प्यार झूठा प्यार झूठा प्यार कीता है तू बेवफा 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 निकली है तू झूठा प्यार झूठा प्यार झूठा प्यार कीता है तू ओने तेरे तो बगैर नहीं जीना सोनिए ना 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 ओने तेरे तो बगैर नहीं जीना सोनिए ना 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 तकनी दा मुल कोई ना तकनी दा मुल कोई ना जिद मेरी है नी तेरे बिना होर कोई ना दिल विच होर कोई ना जिद मेरी है तेरी तरह दी समझदा वे कदे प्यार कदे नखरात खावे नखरे दा मुल कोई ना ओ नखरे दा मुल कोई ना जिद मेरी है तुम्हें दिल के भूल जाने पड़ेगी तुम्हें दिल के भूल जाने पड़ेगी कभी दिल किसी से लगा कर तो देखो कभी दिल किसी से लगा कर तो देखो
साकी रे साकी साकी आपास आ रह न जाए कोई ख्वाहिश बाकी ओ साकी साकी रे साकी साकी आपास आ रह न जाए कोई ख्वाहिश बाकी बातों को तेरी हम भुला ना सके होके जुदा हम ना जुदा हो सके दिल में है जिंदा हर घड़ी तू कहीं होके जुदा हम ना जुदा हो सके चांदनी रात में गोरी के साथ मैं आसमान में देखूंगा नगीन धीमे 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 कष्ट मेरा सीने 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 कष्ट मेरा सीने 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 सीने
गल सुन मेरी तू मुटियारे की समझे अपने आप नू
मेरे मगर तू की कर दी है गल बस तू ही जांदी
बेबी मुझे अपनी जान की कसम मैंने पिया नहीं विस्की बियर या रम कभी बार में ना पी कभी कार में ना पी फिर भी साथ में खड़ी है मेरी बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की मरवा का मन की बेबी 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 मरवा का मन की मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की बेबी मरवा का मन की
जब आंखें खोली तो तू नजर न आई, कल तक बाहों में थी वो, अब है तन्हाई। फासले फासले अब बढ़ने ही लगे, रास्ते रास्ते अब थमने ही लगे। आखिर क्या थी वजह जो हम बिछड़ गए, आखिर क्या की खता जो हम बिखर गए हैं। रूबरू हो जा तो बस एक बार, क्या कहूँ क्या नहीं मेरा हाल। हाँ मैं अधूरा 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 रह गया, तेरे बिन सूना न सूना न सूना रह गया, तेरे बिन राहें टूटती है दिन में भी रोशनी।
And now that we have to go is when I really wish we had more time. You see Vagina, you see this thing called time? It is play with you.
I know, that's very true. I guess it's because mentally,
Yeah.
it's all there.
Well, today's quote is be strong because you never know who you are inspiring. Be strong because you'll never know who you're inspiring. That's what we want to leave with you here this morning. So, you just be strong because you never know. Someone out there is looking up to you and saying, hey, I look up to you. So you got to be strong because you never know who you're inspiring. Guys, I want you to have a fantastic remainder to your Monday. Remember, coming up after this, we've got that rebroadcast of the Glenn Lal Show. Your second major newscast comes up for the day at 12 noon. To 13 hours, we've got The Detective with Sherman Belgrave. 14 hours, the Shivani Show comes up with Shivani and Selector Ajay. 16 hours, Captain D and Selector Andre set sails with the afternoon cruise. 19 hours, your third and final major newscast for today. And coming up at 19 hours 20, it's going to be time for a brand new edition of the Glenn Lal Show. Mr. Lal is going to be back, so we encourage you to join him this evening at 19 hours 20. Buddy Pal, the floor is yours.
All right, guys. Well, we do hope that you have a fantastic one today and for the remainder of the day, and also week. We hope that you have a productive week ahead, and that you keep locking into us here every Monday to Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. for that light entertainment, great music, and all of your Bollywood and chutney scoop and releases and everything that we think that you need to know. On behalf of the SKP team, we want to wish you and yours a fantastic day, and hope that you have a wonderful day. Remainder of the day, you keep on smiling and keep on drinking lots of water because this heat is not regular. This heat is not regular. All right, take care, guys.
All right, buddy pal. Be good. See you tomorrow.
That's all right. Bye-bye.
देख तुझको ही बस देख कर भूली मुझको ही मेरी नजर, तुझको शायद नहीं है खबर, तुझको जीते हैं हम किस कदर। जुड़े जो तेरे ख्वाब से तो टूटे हम नींद से, ये कैसा तेरा इश्क है साजना, तू हाथों में तो है मेरे, है क्यों नहीं लकीरों में, ये कैसा तेरा इश्क है साजना। तेरे बिना कभी रातें न हो मेरी, तेरे करीब हो मेरे ये दिन सभी, तेरे बिना कभी रातें तुझसे है वादा मेरा खुद से है छोड़ूंगा कभी ना तेरा साथ मैं
चुरा के ले जा भगा के ले जा उठा के ले जा यार मैं कमाई का अब ना भाई हमें तुमसे हो गया प्यार चुरा के ले जा भगा के ले जा उठा के ले जा यार रंग ये मेहंदी का तुझको पुकारे आजा ये चूड़ी कंगना तुझको पुकारे आजा तेरे बिन काटे नहीं कटते हैं दिन आजा घोड़ी चढ़ के आजा डोली लेकर आजा
रुक बड़ी शाम
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
With your news in capsule, I'm Kevin Smith. Already producing an average of 400,000 barrels of oil per day in the Stabroek Block from the Liza 1 and Liza 2 projects without full liability protection against an oil spill, ESSO, the operator of the Stabroek Block, has submitted an environmental impact assessment to the EPA for its sixth deepwater project, Whiptail. This key document lays the foundation for the regulator to make a decision in granting a permit for a planned development which can affect the environment and human life. It identifies the risks involved in the project as well as lists mitigative measures that can be implemented. The Whiptail project is ExxonMobil's largest oil project to date. And in other news, opposition says government's failure to conduct feasibility studies for oil projects could result in mountain of debt. Venezuelan woman confesses to stabbing man to death, and Environmental Assessment Board to hear Houston residents over radioactive waste facility. Deaths by fire increased, 29 children, 9 adults killed, and Clay Brick Road resident murdered after cuffing man to the face.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith, and this evening we'll be bringing you a rebroadcast of the Glenn Lal Show. This program was first aired on June 19th, 2023, and in it, Mr. Lal discusses the allure of potential prosperity driven by ExxonMobil's massive investment and the approval of 5 projects by our leaders, which has been the source of both hope and skepticism, of course. And notably, these projects carry a staggering value of 52 trillion Guyana dollars, equivalent to a remarkable 260 billion US dollars. Now, to put this into perspective, let us consider that our annual budget rests at 3 billion US dollars. 3 billion US dollars. And astonishingly, the capital invested in these ventures could sustain our nation's operations for an astounding 86 years. Mr. Lal urges us to not wait until 2025 for us as Guyanese witnessing these choices made in our name by our politicians to do something about it. Have a listen.
Thank you for always tuning in to this show, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a blessing to me, and it's a blessing to all of you, including every Guyanese who are listening to this program. From wherever, whether you're in the States, North America, you're in China, you're in Europe, wherever you are, thank you. Thank you. I am beginning to see the fruits, and I am beginning to hear the things I want to hear in this country. Let's talk about the rape and sodomy of our resources in this land. So let's get going. It's now time for the Guyanese people to come alive. We cannot wait for 2025. I have a slogan for tonight. Guyanese, come alive. Don't wait for 2025. You would hear me repeating all the time tonight that same slogan so that it can stick in your memory. We cannot wait for 2025 to stay alive. Trust me on that one. Exxon Partners eyeing 52 trillion. Let me repeat. Exxon Partners eyeing $52 trillion in the 5 projects already approved by the PNC and the PPP. 52 trillion. That's 260 billion American dollars. If we were to calculate Guyana's yearly budget, uncle and auntie, of $3 billion, that is money to run this country for the next 86 years. 86 years, you have no worries. You would pay no taxes. Your roads, your hospitals, everything can be better. I want you to ask your leaders, uncle and auntie, how much out of that $52 trillion is earmarked for Guyana? Joshua, you didn't hear what I said just now. The people eyeing 52 trillion, 260 billion American dollars from those 5 projects. Out of that, Joshua, how much is there for Guyana? That's my question. You don't know. Well, let me tell you. You may not even get 86 weeks, much less 86 years budget money. And that is the kind of money the oil people boasting to the world about, uncle and auntie. That is the kind of money that sits out there that belongs to every Guyanese. Yes, to us. That we can't get a proper taste out of it. The oil companies licking them lips, boasting to the world. Who boasting for you in this country? Kaieteur News reported that story yesterday from Exxon mouth. Who reporting anything to you here? My reporter keeps asking Jagdeo about Exxon expenses and the formula being used by Exxon to calculate we profit. 2 most important things in a 50-50 partnership business, uncle. And to this day, Bharat Jagdeo refusing to answer those questions. All you get from him is a barrage of cussing on the reporters and this newspaper. That's all you get. Uncle, auntie, isn't it time to come alive before 2025? Huh? The frustration, disappointment, impatience and anger of the South African people came to a boiling point, and everything in South Africa went to a standstill on March 20th of this year. The racism, the exploitation, and the unfair, unbalanced, unjust treatment of the Africans, mainly the black and colored people, by the whites and foreign exploiters. They couldn't take it anymore, uncle. Yes, they couldn't take it anymore, and brought that country to a standstill. South Africa, like many other African countries, is one of the richest nations in the African continent, and many of its people struggling to find a meal when the day comes with all that wealth. What is going on here in Guyana? Why are you people so silent? You ready to come alive before 2025? I am asking again. The man who led that protest in South Africa couldn't bear, couldn't take it anymore. What the present and past leaders doing to South Africa's wealth in partnership with the exploiters. The sitting president, uncle, a man named Ramaphosa, get catch with $4 million stuff in his sofa at one of his farmhouses, and he tell the parliament he sell cows and hide the money in there. He sell cows and stuff the money in his sofa in the farmhouse. The previous president get kicked out for corruption and is before the court presently for thieving the people money. What is going on here in Guyana? The richest country on earth today, 3/4 of its people struggling for a meal when the day come. The bauxite going out every day. Your timber, your gold, your diamond, and now your oil by the shiploads and plane loads. And look how you leaders got a living. Isn't it time for us to bring this country to a standstill? Isn't it time for the Guyanese people to come alive and don't wait for 2025? I think so. I am feeling it. I told you guys Friday how Exxon held a press conference to explain how them recording the expenses and profits from Guyana and telling the reporters they must not record them. Man, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough for y'all to come alive before 2025? Your partner who running your oil business, telling the reporters who are the eyes and ears of the Guyanese people, they cannot record them. So that they can deny later on that they never ever say anything the paper report. Oh, you know why, uncle? Because that man was trying to make us a pack of S or a pack of F. Sheep and fowls, I mean. Since when a company working with a country as a partner, holding a press briefing on the money aspect of the business and putting restrictions on how you should collect your information? Tell me, are you better come alive before 2025? Or they're going to skin you alive? Or they're going to bury you alive? And these politicians that you have, all of them will be the one to dance on your graves. That's how Glenn Lal is seeing it. And I am telling it as it is. The Exxon man said last week how the money invested in Guyana didn't come from loans. It come in the form of what he called equity. Let me repeat, uncle. Equity means is them own company money them invest out there. Them didn't borrow any money from any bank to pay interest. Them said them use them own money. That is what they're trying to put Guyana's head in. Yes. That's what they're trying to put a wee head. Or they're trying to put in wee head. So the interest rate question I keep on talking about going to disappear. And you notice how tricky they get in? And what lack they're putting we in? This is the new scheme they come up with. They've been listening to this program and hear how I have been constantly banging that 50 billion investment out there. And if we pay 10% interest rate, it's 5 billion US in interest rate alone. Yes. When Guyana not even getting $1 billion in profit and royalty a year. So, my constant banging of that interest rate and the comments from other international organizations to cap that interest rate is one that has been playing on their minds morning, noon, and night. So now they decide to call a press conference and come up with a jiggery-puggery answer, a hocus-pocus scheme to tell us now that it's not loans. It's not loans we get to pay interest on. It's their own money they invest out there. Because we are partners. So that money ain't come with no interest, uncle. That's what they were trying to tell us at the press conference. That's why they don't want the press conference to be recorded. I just got to laugh. I just got to laugh. You know, uncle, there's an old saying. When you catch a pacu, you bossy back and put salt. Well, the leaders of this country have Exxon bossing me back and not putting salt alone. They're putting pepper pot plus vinegar inside. Y'all better come alive before 2025 or they're going to bury you alive. God way, they give me faith. Whew. Y'all remember when I asked Jagdeo, what is the interest rate on the investments Exxon charging us out there? I don't know if I remember. Anyone here remember what he said to me? He told us how difficult it is to get loans for the oil industry today. And went on to give us a whole 6 for 9 story. Or a 9 for 6 story. I want to play him for y'all. Yes, I have to play him. You got to play him. You have it. Play it for them.
About capping, I said all of these issues, the interest rate capping, it's complex. It deals with the cost of raising capital, whether it's competitively sourced, the availability of money now for the oil and gas industry. You know, many banks in the world today will not lend into fossil fuel, anything to do with fossil fuel, because they're moving away from that, their lending policy. Raising capital for this industry. We've seen in Guyana's case, you don't need to go far. The Biden administration vetoed the loan that Gisby had from the IDB, claiming that it was going to go for the oil and gas industry. And this is a local company trying to put in place only the infrastructure to service the oil and gas industry. And they got their loan vetoed. And so it's not easy to raise billions of US dollars in capital. So interest rates are reflective of the cost of raising capital. Sometimes it's better to have equity come in, and other times it's interest. It's a complex issue. But so the concern has been raised, just like all of the other concerns in the PSA that I have mentioned, that you write about every day, that I mentioned, but we have a different view on how we address them.
Uncle, this is the man in whose hands the prosperity of this present generation and the destiny of future generations lies. Yes. Now you tell me, if we are in a good place or in the most dangerous place one can ever imagine. If the man that is running this US $1 trillion oil sector don't know where the money came from that is being invested out there, what is being paid on it or what is not being paid on it, where does that leave us, Uncle? Where? Please come alive before 2025, please. If not, you people will be buried alive. I am begging you people, Uncle. Me and my team at Kaieteur News can't do more than what we are doing. You need to fix a date and let us shut this country down so that we can get the leaders and ExxonMobil back to the drawing board or to the table. I will lead it. I will lead it. And you guys need to let it be before 2025. I can't wait for another day to pass, much less 2 years from now. Let's give ourselves a chance, Uncle, to survive. We must come alive before 2025. Brothers and sisters of this beautiful country called Guyana, y'all really understand the depth of trouble this nation faces with Bara Jagdeo? One man told me I was insulting and rude to tell Bara Jagdeo that he's very, very disrespectful and is becoming a great danger to the citizens of this country and the region as a whole. To tell this nation, all because I tell this nation that Guyana, well, not me tell this nation, I told him that because he tell this country, Guyana, that we will have to move to litigation with Exxon in the event of an oil spill. I told him to stop selling out this nation to Exxon and get out the office. Uncle, I went on to tell him every time he opens his mouth, he's creating a nightmare for this whole region and its citizens. Was I wrong to tell him that, Joshua? But my friend tell me I was insulting to him. Tell me, man. A judge grant protection for this region. And he fighting against that. And telling this nation, we have to carry Exxon to court if there's an oil spill. Isn't it time to tell this man something worse than what I told him there, Uncle? And then he had the nerve, Uncle. Bara Jagdeo had the nerve to respond to me, telling me my daily dose of lies, half-truths, and self-righteousness, along with my unchecked ego, is what is damaging to this country and its people. Uncle, who can lie more than Bara Jagdeo? Who can hide and who is more damaging to this country than Bara Jagdeo? Look around. Look around. Name one thing that Bara Jagdeo did. One thing he did that you can, anyone you can say, you're happy with, you're comfortable with. Everything is cursed. Everything is corrupt. I even go so far to tell you people that I am willing to pay anybody in Guyana $1 million to list one single thing the PPP or the PNC did that benefit this country for the last 30 years. One single thing. I better come alive before 2025. Jagdeo telling us how loans are hard to get. Loans hard to get. For Exxon to get loans, and Exxon hold a press conference, uncle. Exxon hold a press conference to tell Guyana we ain't take no loans. You heard him just now, he said that. How loans hard to get in the oil industry. And last week, Exxon holding press conference and telling this nation they never take no loan. What happening in this country? Are you tell me something, man? Please, can somebody say something? Shout through the radio, I'm listening. Oil has made Guyana the richest country in the world today per person, uncle. But instead of our leaders focusing on this, they're hosting press conferences to talk about election, racism, Bora Baji, and loans. Uncle, when will they start addressing this US $1 trillion oil sector and tell us what is really happening out there? Why we have to wait on Exxon to hold press conferences to tell us about our resources? Joshua, I need a vacation. And I don't think I want to come back until I come alive before 2025. I am afraid. They got a saying, when you mess too long with darkness, dirtiness, and nasty people, some can rub off on you. So I am afraid. I don't want them things rub off on me. I'm going somewhere where I can sit down in peace, drink a shot of vodka, and lick some ice cream with my grandchildren. IDs deal with these misfits for leaders and ExxonMobil. Joshua, play back Bara Jagdeo that you played just now. Play him back.
About capping, I said all of these issues, the interest rate capping, it's complex. It deals with the cost of raising capital, whether it's competitively sourced, the availability of money now for the oil and gas industry. You know, many banks in the world today will not lend into fossil fuel, anything to do with fossil fuel, because they're moving away from that, their lending policy. Raising capital for this industry. We've seen in Guyana's case, you don't need to go far. The Biden administration vetoed the loan that Gisby had from the IDB claiming that it was going to go for the oil and gas industry. And this is a local company trying to put in place only the infrastructure to service the oil and gas industry. And they got their loan vetoed. And so it's not easy to raise billions of US dollars in capital. So interest rates are reflective of the cost of raising capital. Sometimes it's better to have equity come in, and other times it's interest. It's a complex issue. But so the concern has been raised, just like all of the other concerns in the PSA that I have mentioned, that you write about every day, that I mentioned, but we have a differing view on how we address them.
He always got a different view of how we address them. Always. When he get ready, he tell me, what? You may not agree. No, not you may not agree. You don't agree. Oh. Interest rate capping is a complex. Yes, he says a complex one with the cost of raising capital. Many banks today not lending money for the fossil fuel industry. The oil industry talking there, uncle. Because the world is moving away from that. Then he said, the Biden administration vetoed a loan from the IDB for Gisby at Houston, uncle. At Houston on the East Bank, where all the supplies have to pass through to go to the ships out there. He said the Biden administration vetoed a loan for that project. So it's not easy to raise money for the oil industry. Uncle, auntie, he's not telling us that the same Biden administration, the American Exim Bank, is about to approve 700 million US in loans to ExxonMobil and Guyana for the gas plant at Wales. That is 150 times more dangerous to Guyana and the world. No. Joe Biden will not veto that, because that will position America to make a huge profit while sinking Guyana in debts and bind, yes, and put us in a bind that we will never be able to get out of. No. Oil-rich Ghana, not Guyana, oil-rich Ghana found itself in a chokehold with the IMF. They took a loan to build their gas plant from the IMF that is owned by America, in which Ghana end up losing 250 million American dollars a year on that project. And when Ghana complained to the IMF tell him, sorry, I still have to pay the money. Why you borrow? The Ghanaian citizens still to today, still scrambling to find a meal when the day come. This is where Guyana will be with a Wales gas plant. I will be struggling daily to get a meal. Yes, to get a meal when the day come. Uncle, that project costs. And now, we don't know what it is. That figure moving like a yo-yo every minute. Yet Barajag, they're telling every Guyanese, electricity bill gonna cut in half. You better come alive before them skin you alive in 2025. Jagdev said, interest rate reflective of raising capital. Interest rate, uncle, determines how hard it is to get money. On to today. Jagdeo has never come out and tell this nation what is the interest rate we are paying on some of the loans they have out there. But, uncle, it is reflected in the accounting books that billions coming out as lease interests. Thank you, Miss Mortley. Thank you. Money coming out. Money coming out as interest lease. And Jagdeo aunt now can't tell me, thank you, the interest rate. And now we are being told by Exxon that investments out there is equity. So you have two things registering in the books here, uncle. Interest rate and equity. That white man tell reporters that the 75% them taking out on every barrel of oil that comes out the ground every minute is to pay back them equity. No interest is being charged. And he man give an example to uncle. He tell the reporters, if you buy a mango for $10 and sell it for $10, you will make no profit. All them get back is the $10. That is what the white man wants me and you to believe. Them buy all them things out there for 50 billion US. So they're not making a profit. They just want back their 50 billion US. Money what Jagdeo or Norton didn't check. Them didn't see or didn't verify. But Exxon taking out 50 billion, what them said they spent out there with no interest. How you like that, Josh? Let me break that down more simple for you, uncle. That is like Glenn Lal telling you, I can buy a donkey cart for $10. Of course I'm buying it for you. And you don't have to pay me. Let me use 10 million. I'm going to put $10. Uncle is like Glenn Lal telling you, I buy a donkey cart for you for $10 million. And you don't have to pay me interest on that 10 million. You just have to pay back me 75% of the money you make every day on the donkey cart. Me not charging you interest. What me do to you there, Joshua? Huh? Yes. A donkey cart for $10 million. You got to really be a donkey to pay the man $10 million for a donkey cart. This is even worse than the interest rate, uncle. That is what Jagdeo and Norton got Exxon doing to we right now with a 50 billion equity. Just like how the donkey cart got to work until the donkey dead or the cart broke up to pay 75% of all the money work every day. That is what Exxon doing to Guyana. 75% of every barrel got to go in Exxon bank account until the oil is done, uncle. If every barrel oil sell for $100, $75 got to go in Exxon bank book first. Then the $25 will remain out of the 100, got to share half and half between Guyana and ExxonMobil. And that is what they call 50-50 partnership. Oh boy. Tomorrow lead story in the Kaieteur News. We are reporting what ExxonMobil 2022 accounting book say about the profits and expenses. Them say all the oil themselves for 2022, they make $9.8 billion. Them take out $7.4 billion out of that as equity, uncle. 7.4 billion them take out as equity. That is the money. What them say they put in. And the remainder, the 2-point-something billion dollar, have to bust in two. Guyana and ExxonMobil. So Guyana will get one, and Exxon will get the additional one. To that 7.4 billion they take out. Man, you better come quick alive and stay alive before 2025. If not, they're going to bury you alive with what they're doing to you in this country. They're already skinning you alive here, uncle. $9.8 billion. That is 10 billion US dollar, uncle. That is what pump in 2022. And Guyana barely get one. You didn't hear what I said, Joshua? Man, this thing is getting you sick.
It is.
$10 billion oil. Pump in 2022. Profit. The oil company take out 9. And you barely get one. Or just over one. And that will continue until the oil is finished. Please, please, I am begging you to stay alive before 2025. Fix that date quick. And let us shut down this country completely from top to bottom. From the northwest to the east-west, north-south. Or the east-north or northeast. Oh, help yourself quick, please. Please. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, please do it for your country. Do it for your children and grandchildren. Please. These misfits y'all have for leaders have prepared their minds for this to continue for the next 20 years, uncle, till the oil done. Just ask yourself, if every year you will be getting just over 1 billion, and they bagging 9 billion each year on those two projects alone, what becomes of Guyana? Them walking away with 3 years of Guyana budget in 1 year, and Guyana receiving less than 1/3. 1/3 of 1 year budget. That's why we are running to foreign banks for loans to eat and live, uncle. Man, are you still sleeping? Look, yesterday, we reported a story in the Kaieteur News again. The Ministry of Agriculture took a part of a loan to buy flash drives and tablets for the people in the hinterland. Imagine you living in the richest country per capita per person, uncle, in the world today. Yes. Your leaders allowing oil companies to take out billions of American dollars per year of your assets and then turning around, borrowing to buy flash drives and tablets, paying millions in interest on that too. Are you help me, brother? Are you help me, sister? These people care for you. These people care for this country. Jagdev told me, just after the same question I asked him there, that he's a patriotic Guyanese, more than Glenn Lal. You have that tape, play, man. Play it, let him hear.
You can't be more patriotic or national. You can't be more patriotic or nationalistic, or not nationalistic, but more patriotic than I am. Since when you think you're more patriotic than I am?
Play it back for them, man.
You can't be more patriotic or nationalistic, or not nationalistic, but more patriotic than I am. Since when you think you're more patriotic than I am?
Since when I think I am more patriotic than he is. That man, Jagdev. The same question I asked him, when he will cap the interest rate. So he wants to tell me that he loves Guyana more than me. He's upset, he upset me asking him that question. Led to him saying that. This man loves Guyana more than me, eh? This man loves Guyana more than the white man. Because the white man come in here and see how you got donkey carts all over the country. So they're making sure that you stay away by adding the little more money to give you more donkey carts. When Jagdev and Norton them done with this country and its citizens, all of you going to turn donkeys in front of the carts, not behind the carts. Or you better get alive before 2025. Please. Please. ExxonMobil ain't even spend $15 billion out there. But them telling we $50 billion them spend. Boy, we paying like donkeys. We paying like donkeys through the aisle from now till the 12th of forever or never. That's what we are doing. Father, oh Father above, the things President Ali and Aubrey Norton allowing Exxon to do to us, the non-white people of this country, is becoming unthinkable and unbearable, uncle. My heart is bleeding. My soul is crying every day and every night. For every Guyanese, every citizen in this region, for what these people are allowing to happen. I want to drink some tea. Thank you, Miss Mortley. Jagdev and Winston Brasington, who heading the Wales gas plant, holding press conference to brief Guyana on the Wales gas plant, or gas to energy they're calling it, telling us, the media, not to record them. Now the white man doing the same thing, holding press conference, telling us They got 2 accounting books, one for Guyana and one for international standards. One says 577 million profit, and the other one says $106 million profit. And that Guyana must focus on the 106 only. And the media must not record them. Clap your hands, uncle. Clap your hands and go to bed, man. Or you want to hear more? Want a whole press conference and tell the media, Jagdev and Brasington don't record them with the gas to energy plant at Wales. Exxon a whole press conference, tell a we they got 2 books and mustn't record them. Are you going good, brother? Yeah. ExxonMobil here, Glenlal, banging on that decommissioning cost in which the Commonwealth of 55 nations come out and say, cap the interest rate, cap the decommissioning cost and take control of it, because oil companies will move from millions, taking out hundreds of millions, to billions. My reporter saw a line item in Exxon financial statement and asked ExxonMobil, what is this line that says asset retirement obligation? Oh gosh, uncle, the man said it's the decommissioning cost. They put a new name on the board certificate. Them scratch out the old name, uncle, decommissioning cost, and put in now asset retirement obligation. I want to shake the white man hand who come up with that scheme, that fairy tale name for cleanup costs. They didn't want us to see how much we getting robbed on this cost. That is why they're hiding it under another name. Uncle and Auntie, Exxon paying attention to every single word that is written in the newspaper and said on this radio program. They move from loans to equity. Then they move from decommissioning costs to asset retirement obligation. I wonder when they will move from royalty to charity. And I don't mean the village charity on the Essequibo coast. I mean stretching your hands for help. And tell us don't record that. Oh boy. Oh Father. You better come alive. Guyanese, you better come alive before 2025. Because like I said, they will bury all of you alive. Jagdev going to approve the 6th project this year end. They don't bury you alive with the 5 projects. This one, the 6th one, gonna bury all of your future generations before they're born. You better fix a date quick. Fix a date quick for me to shut down this country. You better do that. You know they got an old saying, when you start with the first lie, you got to continue lying to keep the first lie going. You got some people, you got some of them who don't want to lie, they just end up locking up their mouth or either evading the subject. Today, I see Stabrook News editorial is asking or is actually saying that President Ali looked like he invisible. He's not holding press conferences. When last I hear you hold a press conference, but he running around, jumping around, dancing here and there, whispering in villages' ears, oh, I'm going to give her a house, I'm going to give her this, I'm going to give her that. And you got plant Buram Bahaji. So you got some of them, like they rightly said, and I keep on saying, evading the press. President Ali, Norton, it's two of them. When you ask them what aisle, they say, no. Uncle, they can run and hide. But for how long? They say moon does run till they catch 'em. And them this don't have any more daylight left for them. It's your light giving them some breathing space now. When are you going to take it away? When are you going to cut that navel string? Are you got buried with them? Are you better do it before 2025? Better do it. Because they're going to bury you alive. Every angle, every avenue, every corner, every opening these hooligans see, they can rip your guts out. They're taking advantage of. When my reporter asked President Ali about the decommissioning cost, he asked if the Commonwealth named Guyana directly. Let me play back the tape for you to listen again. Play it for them, please.
And for the first question from Mr. Lal.
How many questions you have?
Just 4.
Okay.
He says several oil experts and international bodies has been critical of the way your administration is handling the oil sector. The IMF has just warned us to cap the interest rate on the oil companies to avoid them from robbing the country. And the Commonwealth just released a report in which, among other things, they said if we don't monitor or take control...
Let's deal with statement of fact. Did they say that about Guyana, or was it a general statement? Because I know what it is. So you tell me. You are asking me this question now, my friend. You tell me, was this a general report, or was this a report about Guyana?
The Commonwealth was general.
Thank you. And the IMF was?
It was direct.
No.
I'm sorry.
Quote directly for me what the IMF said about Guyana.
I don't have the direct quote.
Well, I can't answer you. You quote directly for me. And if Kiana is helping you on this, Kiana, you're her aide on this, then you get up now and quote directly for me what the IMF said. Quote for me what the IMF said in relation to Guyana. I will answer you directly. Then also, the Commonwealth, there are many oil experts also who are writing about the performance of Guyana, who have lauded the government of Guyana for the way we are handling the oil and gas sector, for our work in terms of utilizing the administrative mechanisms, for our work in a new PSA, for our work in going out to auction on a new block. So what is it you want? What is it we want exactly? And please quote directly.
Okay, Mr. President, unfortunately, I was not blessed with a photographic memory.
Okay, so then we will...
One second, Mr. President.
No. If you're not going to quote what the IMF report said directly, then we'll take the question another time. So continue with your third question. We have to be fair to each other. If you're quoting directly from a report, then come prepared to quote the report.
No, sir, she was not quoting from a report.
Well, the young lady told me the IMF said this. She couldn't say whether it said about Guyana And then you said, yes, it is about Guyana. All I'm asking is for you guys to quote directly what the IMF said.
Mr. President, I was asking for an opportunity to explain what the report
Please go on
says.
to the next question. Please go on to the next question. Once you quote, I will answer.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Y'all hear him? Y'all hear him clearly? Well, I could tell you clearly, Uncle and Auntie, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, one of the largest financial institutions that the world, all them third world countries run to for loan, for bailout, did mention Guyana name when they talk about capping the interest rate. If not, the oil companies will rip out we belly. They did. He asked my reporter for the proof that they did say Guyana. And you heard my reporter say, I don't have a photographic memory. Boy. Then he went on to say how international people are lauding them for the great job they're doing in the oil industry. Are you believe this thing? Are you really believe this thing? International people applauding them for the new contracts they're bringing out, for the 14 new oil blocks that doesn't have a drop of oil inside. Oh gosh, wait there, give me faith. Give me faith, uncle. The Commonwealth with 55 countries begging their members that are producing oil, uncle. The Commonwealth with 55 countries begging their members producing oil to watch these oil companies because they will rob you blind on that decommissioning money. The cleanup money them taking out every year on every project. And y'all president saying to my reporter there just now, them name Guyana. Only the name Guyana, then I will answer. Well, Mr. President, them referring to countries who got donkeys for leaders inside. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Call me and tell me when you're coming out to make sure, and please make sure it's before 2025, to shut down this country. I would also call on the police, the armed forces to join us in the
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burbies 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day and welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith.
Already producing an average of 400,000 barrels of oil per day in the Stafford block from the Liza 1 and Liza 2 projects without full liability protection against an oil spill, ESSO has submitted an environmental impact assessment to the Environmental Protection Agency for its sixth deepwater project, Whiptail. In a public notice published in Sunday's edition of the Kaieteur News, the EPA announced that the environmental impact assessment, along with the environmental impact statement, was submitted by the oil company. It also noted that this means the public would have 60 days, commencing August 20th, to review the document and EPA as they consider appropriate. Though the regulator said the document was available on its website yesterday for download, this was not the case. And the political opposition has acknowledged the recent advice from our Commonwealth specialist inviting member states of the organization to conduct feasibility studies for oil projects, specifically to determine cost versus benefits. Economic advisor to the opposition leader and spokesperson on oil and gas matters, Elson Lowe, pointed to the importance of such an analysis being conducted by the government. Earlier this month, Vice President Jaglio said feasibility studies are the responsibility of the oil companies since they are investing their financial resources. He indicated that this was not done for any of the 5 projects approved to date for ExxonMobil. According to the opposition, an assessment of each oil project is critical for Guyana, especially considering that the Stabroek Block does not include a ring-fencing provision. Such a clause would have prevented the developer from utilizing the revenue generated by one project to pay off expenses for another project. For instance, in the absence of a ring-fencing provision, the Stabroek Block partners last year deducted revenues from the Liza 1 and Liza 2 projects to pay for decommissioning costs related to the 3rd and 4th projects that are yet to commence oil production. And now let's tell you, a Venezuelan woman has confessed to the fatal stabbing of a minor identified as Sunny, who was killed at Kumang Bakdam, Peruni River. According to the police, the fatal stabbing occurred sometime between August 17th and August 18th. Orianma Naomi Silva Figuera, a 23-year-old female from Puerto Ordaz, Venezuela, is in police custody, assisting with the investigation. Figuera told detectives at the Bartica police station that she stabbed the minor with a retractable knife. The police reported that Figuera was cautioned and told of the allegation of the murder, to which he admitted, stating that the deceased had attacked her when she refused to dance with him at a shop at Kumang. The woman told police that she later went to the victim's camp at night, where she saw him lying in a hammock. She then took out the retractable knife and dealt Sunny 3 stabs about his body. And the 3-member Environmental Assessment Board has scheduled a public hearing for appeals received into the EPA's decision not to require an environmental impact assessment for a radioactive waste facility at Houston, East Bank, Demerara. The regulator in April this year announced that the developer, Schlumberger, was exempted from having to produce the detailed impact study. This was the second waiver of the environmental impact assessment by the regulator for the project. According to a public notice, the rescheduled hearing into citizens' appeals will take place on Wednesday, September 13th at 17 hours in the conference room of Park Rain at Rahamans Park, East Bank, Demerara. And now let's tell you, within a week, 4 children and 2 adults died as a result of a fire, bringing the death toll of fatal fires to 29 children and 9 adults. In July, a number of fatal fires occurred within the first 6 months of the year. But within a week in August, 2 young brothers, a mother and her youngest son, and an aunt and her young niece died in separate fires around the country. Meanwhile, a 29-year-old man of Claybrick Road, Canal No. 2, West Bank, Demerara, was on Saturday night brutally murdered after allegedly cuffing a man to his face. Police identified the victim as Bharat Jandalal, better known as Premish, a driver. According to police, the man he allegedly cuffed to the face along with 5 other masked men ambushed him in his yard around 19 hours 45 and stabbed him to death. And moving on, while the government is steadfast in its commitment to enhancing the nation's landscape and infrastructure, it is equally stern in holding contractors responsible for failing to finish their projects within the allocated period. One prime example is the contractor of the Leg 1 stelling, Mirage Contracting Services, who has missed another deadline again to complete the structure, 6 years after the contract was signed under the previous APNU-AFC government. And according to the Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgel, the contractor has requested more money from the government to complete the project despite the fact that the previously agreed upon cost had already been approved. The contract for the rehabilitation of the stelling was signed in 2018, and since then the contract sum has increased from $413 million to $607 million. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is the News at Noon. We'll return shortly after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
It seems like children have been home from school forever, and you've done baking, drawing, schoolwork, and played Ring of Roses about 100 times. We've all been under some strain lately, but let us embrace our children. They're under strain too. Let's show them more love, patience, and care. Let's help to build their resilience in these trying times, not just today or tomorrow, but for the future, their future. A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Welcome back. The Guyana Fire Service and Fire Prevention Department plan to improve readiness and response efforts to safeguard people, property, and the environment during El Niño occurrences by comprehending the possible consequences of El Niño and putting into practice efficient mitigation techniques and practices. This would include ongoing monitoring, public awareness initiatives, community cooperation, and collaboration with relevant stakeholders. Hinterland and rural areas can experience vast grass fires during this period that can destroy properties and livelihoods. It is recommended that surroundings be kept clean at all times. And that does it for your News at Noon on Kaieteur Radio. But before we go, we must turn the pages of today's Kaieteur newspaper to page 7. Jagdeo and his tantrums. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo must hurry up and grow up. He has to stop stomping his feet when he doesn't get his way. Jagdeo must stop throwing these childish tantrums when pressed for answers. Jagdeo must remember he is a former president. He doesn't have the keys to all knowledge or deep truths. He must stop making himself look like someone on the run, someone with many things to fear. That does it for your news at noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's Monday, August 21st. I'm GHK Lal. We are ready to begin the week, and we're not going to talk so much about oil as before, but we start with oil. Gas to energy case, court case. No evidence that Wales gas plant will cut electricity costs. Citizens tell High Court. That's Ms. Radzik, along with attorney Elizabeth Dean Hughes. They have filed a case in the High Court about expressing concerns and alarms about this gas to energy project. It started at $478 million a few years back. And now we're talking about $1.7 billion and then $2 billion. Maybe at $478 million, the gas to energy project made sense. But we really don't know that. We really don't know that because the government has not provided any kind of supporting information for this project. The people in Demerara and Berbice who will be impacted the most through the grid, the interconnected grid, want this project. I want this project. Let me assure the PPP government, the PNC opposition, and all Guyanese that I want this project. But I will only want it and support it if it makes sense. And I think that's what Ms. Radzik and Ms. Hughes, Dean Hughes, have made the central point of their position, in that where are the documents that we can see, that we can review for ourselves and arrive at an educated conclusion that this gas to energy project at Wales, that's going to cost us close to $2 billion, a huge project, it's going to give us value for money, meaning cheaper electricity. Cheaper electricity. Electricity costs are killing us. They are killing us, the rank and file of Guyana. The people who are doing well, ministers, senior public servants, businessmen, they shrug off electricity costs because, one, the officials make big money. They may even get that covered in their allowances. And the businesses pass that on to the consumer. We need cheap, reliable electricity. We don't have that right now. So it made the gas to energy project, if it were to measure up, it's a practical thing. Dr. Bharat Jagdeo, the man in charge of all these things and so many other things, he's been pretty cagey. He said it's a no-brainer. And after that, his brains went into hibernation. Cobweb has taken over it. because he's not saying anything. In 2021 January, Ms. Melinda Janke, attorney at law, an activist, wrote the president and said, show us the plans, show us the studies, show us the program for oil and gas. 2.5 years later, there's not even something resembling a reply. This is not the way for the government, any government, to deal with the oil and gas sector on which so much in this country depends, on which so many Guyanese have so many hopes, dreams, aspirations. Don't spend any money on it, expecting money will come to you. That's for the big boys and the big girls. We are looking for information. Dr. Jagdeo, Mr. PPP government, Dr. President, give us some information and let us say yay or nay on the Wales Gas to Energy project. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. You were listening to the National Outlook.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.